Hey everyone, Froe here, and welcome back to our Let's Play series. It's been a little while, and I kind of want to think of this as a bit of a reboot, and so we're gonna get some new gear to kind of coincide with that, right? So I do have some new armor here, and you'll notice that, some of the enchantments are pretty good, like we have Protection 5 and Feather Falling 5, and yeah, there's another Respiration 4, right? That's because a little while ago I had a data pack that let me get some extra strong enchantments. I don't play with that data pack anymore, so these pieces of armor are actually pretty unique. I don't have a lot of gear in the world that I use that data pack with. And I just kind of wanted to test the strength really quickly here. So it looked like it was about 5 hearts, 4 hearts. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So that means that this armor, because for reference, that guy would one hit kill us, no problem, if we had nothing on. That means this armor is pretty darn good, which I'm happy with. We're also going to just quickly here build a new shovel and then build a new pickaxe. So this is a core splitter. We don't have a lot of those left. I think like these are all we have, and I think we have a couple in here too. Once those are gone from the world, and they're gone forever, because that data pack no longer is being updated that we got those from. And what makes them so cool is they can insta-break things without a beacon, which is kind of cool. And I'm going to call this my wrought iron pickaxe, because it kind of looks like wrought iron. And then for our shovel, we're going to give it Silk Touch. And I'm just going to name it our Rune Spade. And just a couple notes. I'm going to keep this as just a diamond tier shovel. I'm not going to upgrade it because Rune is generally kind of that bluish color. And for these types of pickaxes, I think I only have like 14 or so left. And I have some in there. I might have a couple more over here. Yeah. But if you notice, I don't have mending on these. So once they're used up, and once I repair them, and I get to that too expensive kind of pop-up, then that's it. And so eventually what I'll have to do, and I guess that's assuming that these are in good shape. Right, but that's, once these are used up, I'll have to store them somewhere, and we'll probably have to, that's interesting that they're named the same thing. We'll have to make a monument or something for them in the future. All right, so I did want to make a big deal about kind of showing off our gear one last time. I like to kind of keep the same gear set going for a while, and then when I die, or just after a little while, I reset it all. Just kind of the way I do things. I try to keep the armor on the island, and then try to like display it in some cool way. And I want to sleep. I'm waiting for this to open up so that I can finish talking to you guys about what the plan is for today. Here we go, and go to sleep. So the plan for today is we are going to work on redoing that tower right there. In the latest update of Minecraft, you can get this cool red block called Cinnabar. And I think we're going to use that to rebuild the red tower. Because that is what this is called. This is called the red tower. And it's supposed to house all of the maps in our world. Which it looks like it does have a pretty old map. Like I think half the island or so is grassed up now. So it's definitely an old version of the map. And I think this coastline is all gone now, maybe. I'm not sure if I deleted those chunks or not. I did prune the world only one time. But I don't remember what was kept and what wasn't. And the other floors of this tower are just used to house like our most valuable artifacts in the entire world. And, like our favorite books, and I guess we have comments in here as well. And we got stuff like this. This is our original set of tools and armor. So I definitely want to hold on to those. And I think just, a bunch of random first items. So I used to really, really stay on top of that stuff, and I've kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit. Yeah, and the crazy thing actually about this project idea is like 2 or 3 years ago, I went through and cleaned out the majority of the tower of like our cool stuff that we had on display because I was gonna redo it back then. I just never got around to it. So yeah, I'm gonna start just slowly cleaning up here. We're gonna make sure we keep everything very well organized because all of the decorations and all of the items on display here, I want to be able to keep. Right, so I'm gonna be very, very careful with how we go about cleaning up the items inside of here. Want them nice and organized so that we can easily put things back together when we want to in the future. And, it may be that in the future, we house some of these items somewhere else. It's totally okay with me. But I do want to make sure that this tower is used explicitly for or with the intention of housing the history of our world maps. And that's kind of the main purpose. So as we go through and like rebuild this thing, got to keep that in mind on how we want that to look. Yeah, so fun fact, this build is from episode, well, I don't think I built this on camera, but I first revealed it on episode 33, right? And very much looks the same for the most part, right? I think I've updated the signs, tweaked them and removed them and whatever, maybe. Still have nothing there. I've completed projects, I believe. Let's take a look. Like the end battle date decider, technically finished. The automatic chicken farm, I've built a couple of those now. What about... Oh, I built the underwater tunnel once, but then I had to revert to a backup and I lost it. The recycling machine I've built. So quite a few of these I could knock off technically. And then over here, it originally was just nothing. It was just an empty space, and I've turned it into, I believe, like another Ender Pearl hub. It's kind of my idea for this. I just kind of slapped it together one day. It's pretty plain on the inside. It could use some decoration, but it uses the new block, so that's kind of cool. And then, yeah, the tower was showcased in that same episode. So, yeah, 5 years old. I always kind of, for the past few years, had this feeling that I needed to redo the tower. I was never happy about it, to be honest. Oh. So here we are, tearing it down. Finally getting to change the original kind of skyline of our world. You know what, though? I'm actually a little afraid to do this. Because the last time we tore down a old build in our world to redo it was the storage room, which is right over there. And we spent so long. I spent so long tearing that down and like planning it out and gonna rebuild it. But it just never felt the same. The original storage room has so many cool little nooks and crannies, and it has a cool evolution of history over time that it's just really challenging to rebuild it. It got to the point where I just didn't even want to play anymore because I was so sad to miss the old one that I just reverted to a backup from before I tore it down. And so that's why we lost the underwater tunnel, for example, and a couple other builds. It's actually kind of crazy that I did that now that I think about it. Alrighty, let's check it out. Here it is. Empty building pad. Ready for us to build on. But we need to get some Cinnabar, so I actually just updated to the newest version here, 26.2, and I've got some exploration supplies prepared, and I got a ender chest full of shulker boxes and stuff like that. So I think our plan is we're going to head straight east, and the plan is we're going to map out our entire little adventure here. I'm just going to go ahead and get a map kind of prepared here. We want to make it, I think, size 3. I think we'll do it. Let's see, how big is that? Oh yeah, that should be large enough. And again, we're just going to be traveling east. The chunks have been reset. Like I've deleted and pruned them out. Oh, there's a boss mob over there. And he blinded us. All right, I'm just going to get our map prepared. And let's see, let's put that in our offhand so we know where it is. And let's take care of this guy quick. These guys are the hardest because they do this. They like split, and then the middle guys who we have to hit. But, what? No loot. Sad. Alright, we're coming up on our new stuff. What you're going to see initially here is the destruction of the environment. I did preserve this little bit here. It's where we get like all of our grass and a lot of our sand and stuff like that. But just in a little bit here, and I can kind of feel the lag kicking in, I'm thinking that there's going to be new chunks. And I think it's hard to tell. I don't know if these would be new or not. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've been over here, to be honest. Alright, these are definitely new chunks. Here's a little chicken with the new texture. And so I'm pretty sure, right, I haven't explored this area since before they changed those textures, which I think was last update, not even this most current one. But yeah, the plan now is just to explore until we find our sulfur caves and be able to collect some Cinnabar. Oh man, I don't know if you guys can see that as well as I can, but wow, this is a massive cave. Whoa, it just kind of keeps going. Yeah, you know what? Let's just check it out, I guess, right? Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. That's pretty cool. No sulfur, though. No sulfur. Dang it. I made a mistake. I thought it was recording when I found the caves and mined our first couple bits of Cinnabar and sulfur here, but I wasn't. That's my B. Hopefully you guys can, be patient with that mistake here. So I just wanted to craft the polished Cinnabar quick here, just to see what it looks like. Okay. You know what? I could definitely see us using that for the tower. I think I have to play around with it, probably find some blocks that go along with it, maybe mangrove. And bada bing, bada boom. We got it all mined up. Pretty much burnt through my entire pickaxe, so we're going to have to go back and repair it. But we did get a couple shulker boxes of Cinnabar and almost a full one of sulfur too. And what we're going to do is just mark this. How do I do that? Do I have to right click it? There we go. Now we have sulfur caves labeled here so we can easily get back if we ever needed to. I did explore a bit of the caves here. It doesn't seem like there's really much to them. At least this one. Obviously there's the sulfur cubes, and we'll have to come back in a future date and collect those too. If nothing more, just to say that we have them on the island. And there we go, on our way home finally. We're going to kind of backtrack the direction we came to some extent. There were a couple things I wanted to mark just as points of interest for future reference. This floating village being one of them. So we're going to just mark that right here and plop. Alright, we got back to our base. Here's our finished map. Everything's marked off so that we can go back and visit this when we need to go pick up some cubes. And I just wanted to show you, this is what the world looks like without the red tower. And I guess there's a couple blocks I forgot to delete there. But yeah, next step is to build the next version of the tower, which, as you can see behind me, we have a pretty good rough draft started for. Basically, this is going to be the first story's height. It's so pretty tall. And then there'll probably be like 3 stories total. So nothing too crazy, but it's going to be a good addition to the skyline. And I'm going to try to incorporate other blocks. Usually, like as I'm building, I get like a rough draft going of the outlay and like how big I want it to be. And I get some basic components together, like these are going to be the border blocks. And so everything's kind of bordered by that. But the interior walls themselves, I have a lot of freedom and creativity for. Again, this is just the rough draft. And in here is where we're going to store the history of the world maps. And so like every year or every once in a while, we'll go around the entire known world, map it out at a certain level of detail, and record it here. And so over time, we'll have, I guess we should maybe build like 3 or 4 different levels. I guess we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we'll have to figure out some way. Right? So the tower may be like 3 distinct layers, but this inner portion can have more than that, is probably how we'll work it out to be. But yeah, pretty good start so far. I'll check back in once I get some more progress done. You can definitely tell I'm a little rusty when it comes to making videos, because I did not record anything really after that last clip. But let's take a look at what we do have done. Dun da da da! Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think for the most part we're going to be kind of calling it done. I might work on it a little more. I almost said little bit. So I've been rewatching my old episodes and little bit. I say little bit a lot. So I'm going to try to be mindful of that a little bit more. But yeah, here is the finished tower from the outside perspective, kind of on our main plaza in the world. I think it turned out really great. Got a lot of cool little details you can kind of see even from this distance away. And the coloring is great. It's a nice red tower, but it's not like obnoxiously red, as if we used red terracotta, which you can kind of see right there in that building. It's a good block, just not for a whole tower like this, I think, in this setting. It's larger than the surrounding buildings. You can see the evolution of the scale and build style over the years, right? I think that's the original building in the world, one of the first ones at least, right? And drastically different in the way we've done it, but that's all right. I think they still fit together, and wow, I mean, we had that building, the old red tower, for 6 years. We're going to just fly up here and take a look, kind of get some different perspectives of the tower. The top of the tower here actually took one of the longest parts to do. I just could not get the shape right. But I found that I just have to keep adding more and more layers. And like if I dug into here, you'd find that there's like 3 or 4 layers stacked on top of each other. Because I just kept finding that it was too flat. It was too flat, so I kept building it up more and more. And we kind of have a tower within a tower, so we have this outside shell. And then on the inside is that gray structure, the tough blocks. And there's a pretty simple little staircase that kind of wraps all around. Right, and then this is what the full interior looks like. You can see all the way to the top if you are looking at the edges. Right, otherwise that's the staircase. We have some basic chests here that we'll use to store maps and other things like that. I want to store a copy, so here we have like our original world map that we had saved from the red tower. And I've made a bunch of copies and locked them, and they're stored over there for now. Eventually I'll move them here or put them somewhere in here. But that's kind of the point of the tower, is just to store stuff like this. So our first layer will be this oldest map. And then as we climb to the top, you'll find each layer is pretty much the same. We're going to put another map here. And then again, go all the way to the top. And this is kind of what the top looks like. There's room for a map. And then I have a couple places that we can put decoration items. A couple armor stands. And then just a little bushes and a cool little balcony so we can see our entire world. Which, this is the tallest structure in the world now, I believe. So that's kind of cool, right? And man, just literally everything you see from this tower is finished world. That's pretty awesome. Wow. I'm patting myself on the back for that one. That's pretty cool. 6 years of progress. The next step then is we have a copy of the original map. Right, so here's the original orientation. I went through and I renamed these to the date that we're going to kind of fill these in. And I'm going to go through and update these kind of one at a time. I think we're going to need some more rockets though, so let's stock up there. And away we go, right? So it's going to be kind of cool to see this update in real time. You're going to see just how much grass we've actually laid over the years. Oh, yep, here it is. It's updating. Man, that's crazy. When the Red Tower was built and this was originally mapped out, none of this existed. Here's our horde of mushrooms. This island is still pretty untouched, besides all the cows. Oh, we're gonna get blinded. Alright. Should probably just get rid of these guys. They've been bugging me for a long time. Oh, killer rabbits. Oh, they look way different now. And they're not dropping anything, which is kind of sad. I think that means... Whoa, and there's a bunch of stuff down there. I think that means that their loot tables are broken. So there's, I guess, no really good reason to keep these guys around. Okay, well, that didn't take too long, but I can definitely see why 6 years ago I only mapped out when I absolutely needed to and not anything more. It's a little boring. But now we got this entire one filled out. Let's go plop it in here and see what it looks like. So that's north. Wait, what direction is north? No, not that. That's north over here, right? Yep, that's north. So that's perfect. We got west. North, I was going to update, but it's a little boring. And I was going to fill in the south map and the eastern ones too. I'll probably just do that between episodes here. It's getting a little long, and exploration is one of those things that I'll probably just do when I'm ready to sit down and relax, watch a YouTube video, and wind down for the day. So yeah, here's, I'd say, pretty much the finished tower. There's not a lot left to do. We just got to add in those little decorations on the top here, and probably a few other minor details. But I think we're going to call the episode there. I think we've made a lot of progress in the world. I'm really happy to be back recording, and I hope you guys are as well. I did want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a nice one. Until next episode, bye-bye.